so is life, Batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life, Batiwa. So is life. Water makes the river, river wash the mountain. Fire makes the sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain. Spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit. Only can the Spirit turn the world around. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Oh, so is life, Batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life, Batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life, Batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life, Batiwa. So is life.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Raj.
Please join me in welcoming Reverend Ali Benjamin.
I was a little humbled when I heard the topic was aging today. But I like to play by the rules, so we are talking about aging. I am Ali Benjamin, and I direct the Satya Center for Spiritual Living up in Ogden. And we are a sister community. We are science of mind based and religious science based, like you are here. And so I come with greetings and blessings from the Satya community to you. Am I sounding okay? It's not echoey? Okay. Raj is probably thinking, oh, I already told her she doesn't sound echoey, but I do. So I am turning 55 2 Sundays from now. And thank you. And whilst I'm not considered a senior, I've done a lot of work with seniors. I led a wonderful workshop for a group of elders. It was a yoga workshop. I didn't do the yoga part, I did the legacy part. And they were all 80 years or older. And I had a wonderful time with them. And so I got an understanding of what some of the concerns are with aging. I also, in my 20s, was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And so I feel like I've had an experience, a physical experience of being very limited through that. I've had many, many surgeries, and which led me down a different path than maybe I would have gone on had I not had that experience of having to be very still and quiet. I had come from a family of 2 Olympic parents, 2 Olympic athlete parents. And so there was a great emphasis and a value placed on physical ability. So when I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, I felt a great burden. I felt that I wasn't able to succeed in my family's standards and in their values. So that life led me, that illness led me down a different path, which today I give such gratitude for, because it really opened me up to my spiritual path. Had I continued on athletics and being competitive the way I was, I would not have found my deep love of meditation, of spirituality, my deep love of painting, and my deep love of making jewelry. I find that that handbag is singing a song. So I share this with you because I guess I want to qualify myself. I don't want to say that I stand up here as a senior giving advice, because I haven't had that experience. So I honor all of the seniors and the elders in the room. And I will share my experience with the process of being still and tuning into life in a different way than we did in our younger days. So I have a story for you that I found really endearing. There was a monastery that was in decline. There were 5 monks left. Most of the monks had died, and there didn't seem to be any new ones coming. And these monks were really sad because they really loved offering what they offer into the world, and they enjoyed sharing that with the community. And the community would come and buy honey and buy milk and buy books and come and chant with them in the morning and in the evening. And that started to decline until all of those things stopped happening. And so the senior abbot decided he was going to outreach to an old friend of his, a rabbi that lived in a hermitage in the forest. So he trekked out to the forest, into the forest, and went into the hermitage and met his old friend, the rabbi. And they discussed their declining ministries. The rabbi shared that the numbers were down at the synagogue, and the abbot shared about what was happening at the monastery, and they shed some tears and they wept together. They read the Torah, and they were of great support to each other. And the abbot thought, well, I didn't really get any answers, but it feels good. And the rabbi said, well, it's funny, I had this odd dream about the monastery the other night. The Messiah is in the monastery. And so the abbot walked back through the forest and went back to his monks, and he shared the story that they wept together, they read the Torah together, they enjoyed that brotherhood, and then he shared the strange dream that the rabbi had, that the Messiah is in the monastery. So this led the monks to just wonder what that could possibly mean. And so they thought, well, the Messiah, maybe it is the Father Abbot. He's the Messiah. And so they started to change their attitude to the Father Abbot, and they started to be more respectful and mindful, because just in case he was the Messiah. And then they thought, well, maybe it's Brother Paul. Maybe he's the Messiah. He's so quiet, but he's always around when you least expect it. Yeah, he's probably the Messiah. So they started treating Brother Paul with great respect and being very mindful. They thought, well, maybe it's Brother Philip. He's so annoying. He's always belching and burping, but yet he's always saying the right thing when you need it. Maybe it's him. So they went through all of the stuff in their mind, thinking that that's possibly the Messiah, and they started a whole new aura of respect and mindfulness. And as they did, everything shifted within the monastery. And lo and behold, people started coming back, families started picnicking. Some of the younger men came to the older brothers, the fathers, the monks, and said, you know, I'm interested in a path of monkhood. And so I share this story because what does it have to do with us and aging? It has everything. Because we, in Science of Mind, know that we change our thinking, we change the way we look at things, and we change our life. Our thoughts have a direct result on the life experience we're having. So what did these monks do to create a change, a more positive environment? They became more respectful. They saw with new eyes. They had a deeper perspective of what might be going on. That everyone's a teacher for us. So I thought that that would be some wisdom that we can carry forward as we enter into this talk about aging and as a spiritual practice. So I'm going to be talking about embracing change, conscious aging, life review, and legacy. Many of you know the wonderful teacher Ram Dass. Anyone heard of Ram Dass? Yeah. After his stroke in 1997, he faced partial paralysis, aphasia, and a host of other physical challenges, including chronic pain and all manner of inconveniences. Yet today he considers the stroke an act of fierce grace that propelled him to another level of spiritual growth. I believe that it's possible to transform the heaviness that can come with aging into an expanded lightness of being and even joy. What I know about the experience I had when I wasn't able to do the physical things that I loved to do when I was younger, it took me down this path of being more mindful, of having a closer relationship with the divine. And I think as we age, and all of us, it's happening to all of us, have you noticed? As we age, we're less concerned with what we can do in the world out there as what we can do on the inside, and what a difference we can make with our quiet wisdom instead of maybe our bold acts. It's more of what quiet strength can I bring? What deep wisdom can I bring? And I know a source for this, for tuning into this, is meditation, is introspection. And this comes to us as we get older naturally, maybe to prepare us for what's to come after this life. So I thought, well, I better look and see what Dr. Ernest Holmes had to say on aging. The race suggestion carries a strong belief about the unpleasant conditions which may present themselves as one grows old. Human beings are birthless, deathless, ageless spirit. This leads nothing to be born, mature, decay, and die. Life cannot grow old. A knowledge of our oneness with the God life, which is all about us and within us, that this life is governed by divine law and harmony within us. So, we have within us this aspect to our being that is ageless. This part of us, this ineffable part of us that has never been born, that will never mature, that will never die. This is who we really are. This is our essential nature. So whilst our society seems to be so focused on youth, so focused on doing and achieving and accumulating, we put little emphasis on these greater gifts, these gifts of spirit, who we truly are, beyond all of those things. So we develop this aspect of our spiritual self, and we tune in to the one life that's eternal, that part of us that will never die, that was never born, and can never mature. And when I think of that can never mature, I think, someone just said to me, Deepak Chopra says, how old are you? How old do you think you are? Because age doesn't really matter. How old do you think you are? Maybe that's how old you are. And maybe if you're young at heart, the idea of maturing seems very scary. Especially for Rick. Right, Rick? So what can hold us back? What can hold us back from really stepping into this kind of easy space with aging, knowing that the body may decline, we may start to slow down, our mind might start to slow down. What can help us really expand into the next stage of our evolution is letting go of the baggage, letting go of the doubt, the sadness, those things that we have regret about. just as I say those things, can't you feel a heaviness to those things? And what I found is that when people are dragging along a lot of that stuff, when they have a lot of negative self-talk going on within them, that they stay stuck and they stay heavy, and their mind is consumed with thoughts of those things that make you feel old. So a good process, and we'll do a little bit of this in my workshop, is forgiveness, is letting go of those things that no longer serve, so that we can be freed up to really bring our gifts forth. I believe that the baby boom era, are there any baby boomers in the room? There's a few baby boomers in the room. I'm a baby boomer. I'm 55, or about to be 55, and so I just squeaked into the baby boomer with the rest of you, so thank you for having me. Us baby boomers are going to be the majority. We are going to have the loudest voice. And so in our culture, we're not really primed to have a loud voice as we age. We don't have a rite of passage in our culture that allows us to move on into the next phase. And what is that next phase? In our culture, we're retired, and maybe we're given a pension, and maybe a gold watch or something like that, and off we go to do what? We're not really valued. And so it's up to us to establish our value. It's up to us to establish our value. In other cultures, they really value, they emphasize. In India, they have something called ashramas, and these are stages. In the early stage, from birth to 20, you're in the learning stage. And so you know where you fit, you're learning. And then from 20 to 40, you're in the householder stage. And in this stage, you're accumulating things, you're establishing yourself, you're doing your body of work in the world, and you're making a difference in that way. And then from where did I get to, 40? 40 on up, you start to hand off your work, your business to your children, and you move into a quieter stage of being more mindful, of maybe going on a pilgrimage, of doing the things that sing to your soul. We don't have anything like that, but we can create something like that. It's going to be up to us to create this new paradigm of what it looks like to be 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 120, and so on. It's going to be up to us to take a role, take a position in our communities of value and worth. Because I know that with age comes great wisdom. With experience, through that age comes great wisdom. So I ask you, what are you here to develop? Maybe you have a skill or something that you haven't really spent a lot of time on, but you've always wanted to. Maybe music, maybe arts. What is it that you can develop? And it doesn't have to be something that you have to make or do. It could be, maybe you're a teacher of something. You are of great value, and the world needs us to bring forth these gifts in our elder years, because we bring such a unique perspective. So I just plant that seed with you. What will be your legacy? I do workshops with people, and we primarily focus on what's your mission, what's your vision moving forward, what do you want your life to look like? With seniors, it's different because we're focusing on what is my legacy, what do I leave behind? So you're probably thinking, what is my legacy? And so you've got something to look forward to as you begin to move through the days and the years of your life, honing your skills, and so that you can be that bright light that you're here to be, that never dims, that everlasting life, that spirit within you continues to shine. One person in one of my workshops said to me that they were here in this workshop because they had two elder females in their life, and they were a younger female, two elder females in their life, and one was really healthy and really grumpy and not very nice and critical and mean. And the other one was very ill and had a lot of physical things happening, but she was sweet and kind and the presence of love. And the healthy one didn't have many friends because of her mindset and her nature and her way of being. But the other lady that was so poorly, yet had such a lightness of spirit, she was in tune with that spiritual sense of herself, just couldn't keep people away from her. And she wanted to know how to age and how to develop, and that was her intention, to really develop into that loving, generous, kind older woman. And so we all have choice, don't we? So who are you going to be as you move forward? Who are you going to be as you hone your skills and your gifts and your talents, so you leave, so that you bring great gifts and you leave a legacy? You leave something that people remember and helps them, inspire them on their path. So I want to lead you through a little process. And this is something I do with all ages. So if you're not a senior, but you're a younger person, this is completely designed for you too. So relax, close your eyes, and get still inside. And I'd like you, if I have your permission, to lead you through this sacred vow of liberation. And this is to practice a little forgiveness, self-forgiveness, and this is to prepare you for unleashing your divine gifts and attributes that are within you, that may be buried under your doubt or your fear or your uncertainty or anything like that. So we're going to release, do a little release. So just open your heart and open your mind and take a breath. And as you breathe, connect with that timeless space within yourself. That aspect of your being that isn't bound by time or space, your essence. And I speak these words for you if you align with them. I make this vow and fully accept that total forgiveness is now activated within me and for me. I accept that I am freed from every judgment and limitation I hold against myself. For every lie I have ever told, I ask that forgiveness free me from the ripples of their effect. Even now, I am being lifted into my full integrity. As of now, I am always confident to speak my truth with love and clarity. I accept that forgiveness flows through me, specifically for my body temple. I open to allow all the abuses, words, and actions that my body has endured to be healed. That any stored energy, hurt, sadness, anger, or fear that is hiding out in my cellular memory is moving into the light of God's love now. For all the ways that I have been ungrateful or out of alignment with my integrity, I accept forgiveness now. For all the ways that I've hurt others and myself, known and unknown, I accept forgiveness now. As I lift up my mind and my heart and open my awareness to the light of truth, may this energy of forgiveness heal. May it liberate us so that only care and connection remain. I send the healing energy of forgiveness out from my heart to all the directions and into eternity. And I ask you to place your hand on your heart now and say to your sacred self, your essential self, in the quiet of your mind, I love you. You are a precious child of the divine, perfect in every way. I'm sorry for forgetting who I truly am. I'm sorry for thinking there was any kind of problem. Please forgive me for believing painful, disempowering thoughts about myself and others. And thank you. You are my nearest and dearest friend and ally. And just feel the love for yourself right now. Infinite Spirit sets into motion the power of forgiveness, setting me completely free from the past. I am liberated. I am physically free. I am emotional free. I am mentally free. I am energetically free to be me. I am active. I am activating the sacred I am. I am peace. I am joy. I am strength. I am unconditional love and compassion. I am impeccable with my word. I am wise. I am awake. I am free to be me. And so it is. So you just took a sacred vow with yourself. You've just activated something within you, cleared away a lot of old stuff. So now you are alive with that living spirit that is bubbly and vibrant and enthusiastic and curious. You activate your childlike nature when you get rid of all of that burden, all of that worry, all of that doubt, all of that unforgiveness. So I trust that this has activated within you a desire to think about your divine gifts and what you're bringing into your life in your future, what your legacy may be. And I want to close with something really sweet I found from Dr. Ernest Holmes from Living the Science of Mind. And this is on the chapter on growing old. Youth is not a time of life, it is a state of mind. Nobody grows old by merely living a number of years. People grow old only by deserting their ideals. Years wrinkle the skin, but to give up enthusiasm wrinkles the soul. Worry, doubt, self-distrust, fear, and despair. These are the long, long years that bow the head and turn the spirit back to dust. Whether 70 or 16, there should be in everyone the love of wonder, the sweet amazement at the stars and the star-like things and thoughts, the undaunted challenge of events, the unfailing childlike appetite for what's next, and joy in the game of life. You are as young as your faith, as old as your doubt, as young as your confidence, and as old as your fear, as young as your hope, and as old as your despair. Youth is not a time of life, it is a state of mind. So thank you very much. And we're going to pray, so I'd like the practitioners to come up. You're so blessed to have these beautiful practitioners here, enlightened beings, here holding the space and knowing the truth of your being, that you are perfect, whole, and complete. Let us pray. Taking a breath and exhaling. Opening up your heart and opening up your mind and allowing your mind to gently make the journey downwards into your heart, the 18-inch journey from your mind into your heart. And imagine like an elevator going down and down and down. And with your mind and your heart, there are thoughts of love and light, of joy, of possibility, potentiality, looking forward to what's next. And in this place, in this quiet place, in this only moment, is the place of creativity. We know that in this moment, and in each moment, we activate the power of the universe, we activate divine intelligence, the infinite laws that support all life. We activate those creative processes through our words, through our thoughts. It's said that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So let us think with our hearts now. Think about things we would love, the life we would love to create in the future, a life of health and peace and abundance and well-being, a life of creativity and passion, a life of adventure, vibrancy and vitality. And let us know this is up to us now. So we keep our mind and our thoughts and our words and our actions all lined up with what we want. I call this congruence. We have congruence of thought and heart, and then the universe responds. The universe, in a quiet but mysterious way, attracts to us what we hold in our hearts. We keep our thoughts in the affirmative. We expect the best, and we say yes to life. Aging greatly, aging boldly, and living brightly. And as we do this, day by day, week by week, our lives become a living example for those around us. And just like the monks in the monastery, we begin to see change as we focus on what's positive, as we begin to walk life's path with respect and appreciation. Life gives to us all that we need, and for this we are blessed. So I release this prayer, these words, with such gratitude for the understanding of the law, the way it works, and for the blessings upon blessings that shower upon us even when we're sleeping. I give thanks, and let us say together, and so it is.